All right, so in this video, I'm going to be mapping connections in Notion. I'm going to be showing you how I set up a nested object matrix to basically figure out what are the things and how do they connect. So this is a follow-up to the last OUX happy hour, which we will link you somewhere if you've not seen that. And if you don't know what a nested object matrix is, you're probably going to want to check that out. You'll probably catch on through this video on what a nested object matrix is all about, but that OUX happy hour would be a really great place to start. So, and also just OUX in general, that's object-oriented UX, checking that out, how we do object mapping. I've got a short video on object mapping as well, which will also help get you up to speed. So if you don't know me, my name is Sophia Prater. I run the OUX forum. What do? I do OUX and I teach OUX, and I am basically consider myself the chief evangelist for object-oriented UX. So I run the OUX forum, OUX happy hour, and the OUX certification process as well. All right. Certification program. Okay, so let's jump into Notion here. Here we are in Notion. And this one I went over in the happy hour. This is basically mapping all of our brand / company, what I call the machine parts. This is our products, our platforms, all these moving pieces, and how I started to map out how they connect to each other and how they talk to each other, and how if you are on LinkedIn, how am I pushing you over to Instagram? If you're on the newsletter, how do I make sure that you're signed up for the happy hour? So a lot of this is from a marketing perspective. I'm not going to go over that. But one thing that I will share, I'm going to give some Notion tips, some Notion hygiene tips along the way here. So one thing that was really helpful for me is creating pages for database storages and having little icons for that. So all of our database storage, we kind of put all the actual databases here on this one page, where basically all the permissions kind of basically have shared permissions. And this is sometimes finding the actual database can be tough in Notion. So I have a database storage for the company, and then I have this life objects database storage too. I've been more and more, I've got it done here. In OUX, we usually will put our objects in all caps. So I also put my objects in all caps so the actual original database is in all caps, and I put the little box next to it too. Again, just to be really clear, this is an actual database, not a page. So if you use Notion, you can kind of know that can get confusing. Is this the page or is it the actual database? Making it really clear where the actual thing lives. Then I have this page. This is for my private stuff, for my life object storage. This is all the personal stuff. In the OUX happy hour, I talked about how I OUX my life. I've talked about this on and off, but super nerdy, but basically how I take things like my goals and my values and daily practices and how I kind of map it all out. And I use this as sort of a tool for journaling even, and exploring and just adding structure in my head for all the things. You can even see Hertz is on there. So this goes back to childhood wounds. I'm not gonna open up that database. Not while on camera. Principles and boundaries. But then there's relationships to all these things. So how do you map those relationships? So the matrix that I talked about, that I got excited about playing with at happy hour a couple weeks ago, last week, was a hobbies matrix. So taking my hobbies, so I did that. Here it is. This was really fun journaling of taking kind of 5 of my top hobbies, and then creating that nested object matrix to start mapping the relationships and get inspired on how my hobbies could talk to each other. So I don't love the word hobby. Hobby it doesn't have very much gravitas. So I'm calling it joys here, my joys. And so the ones I'm going to be mapping are frameworks and system design, basically creating frameworks, one-on-one time with friends. More and more as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that I really like one-on-one time the best, or small groups, travel, plants and forest, and plant/forest/garden, and the last one is art/collage. I really like doing collage. So those are the 5. I have a lot more, but those are the 5 that I'm going to map out here. So what you're going to want to do to create a nested object matrix is you're going to need 2 databases. You're going to need a database for the objects. So this would be my joys. And then I'm going to want another database. So I'm going to create another database, a full page database for joy connections or relationships. I mean, it should be, I guess, connections. Let's call it connections. And I'm going to put the box and put it in all caps. And then I'm going to go back here. And just for right now, I'm going to create a page. Here, I'll probably move this later. And I'm going to call this Joy's Nested Object Matrix. And so what this is going to become, and I could do this actually, you know what, actually, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to show you how to do it right here instead of creating another page. We don't actually need to create another page. We can actually create the nested object matrix as just a view right here in the database. So what I want to do now is I want to set up what is a joy connection, okay? So I'm going to do example here, just to kind of get it started, set up, get it started to set up, get it. I feel like I have to do that there. Okay, whatever. And then I'm going to do a relation, and I'm going to relate it to the joy database. And I'm going to call this host joy. Add relation. And I'm going to add one more relation for, I'm going to add joy again. It's going to be the same one for nested joy. Okay, so the host joy, the nested joy. All right. OCD moment. Joy. Okay, cool. I'm going to actually go back here and add those joys in. Wait, let's go back here. Life object storage. Let's get rid of that. And let me add those in real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and put these in, and I added description for each of them. And then this is why I make you could just do the joy connections and make this a tag. Does that work as well? I don't even think that works as well. The reason I like to make this an object is because I want to maybe journal a little bit more about these. I want to add a little description. I could add another field for, how maybe some metadata on like how well I'm doing with this, as in like how much time am I actually dedicating to this. So like art would be like, this really needs some attention. You haven't really done that like twice this year. So I can add additional metadata, additional descriptions, and kind of blow out this object, so to speak. So going back to the life objects storage and going back to our joy connections, what I want to do now is I want to make, let's just do placeholder. They really want us to like. And so what I can do here is I can do, let's just start off with frameworks and system design as the host. And then we're just going to add host to each of these like that. I just want to have at least one instance with each of my host objects. This is not going to make sense if you don't know what a nested object matrix is or you haven't watched that. Maybe it's interesting. Did I do it? Okay, so cool. So I have all my hosts, and now I'm going to go into layout, board, group by, can't group by the frickin'. So we're going to set it to board, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go here and we're going to group, not by tags, we're going to group by the host object. So boop, 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 and now we have lots of placeholders. And then what we're going to do is for each of these placeholders, we're going to make sure we have nested object for each of these. So we're going to do that. And then, oh, you know what I can do? Hang on a second. How do I set this up? We're going to do a subgroup for nested joy. And what I want to not hide in the empty groups, but it does it anyway. I don't know why. Add a group. There we go. There we go. It should show them, right? It's not hiding. Okay, so now I can go, now we're gonna roll. And I can go and I can basically boop, 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 add a group. What did I just do? Now I want to do nature. And now I can do art. And now I have a nested object matrix. So now I can go and I can start popping in the connections here. So let's say I have, I'm going to pause, pop in some connections, and then come back. Actually, before I do this, I want to show you this. There's the one that has none. So what I am going to do is I'm going to drag these down right here. Okay, and then I can hide that. Beautiful. All right, I'll be back in a minute. A second. For you, a second. Nope, I want to show one more thing. Okay, this I did not do in the right order, so I want it. No, it is in the right order. Okay, delete that. Okay, so one quick thing before I actually get into this is I want to change the order of these because it's not the same as the order of this. And if I'm copying something over from here into Notion, I want it to be, it's going to be really, my brain cannot handle them not being in the same order. So I'm going into the subgroup and I'm just going to move, the sort, I want the sort to be manual. And then I'm just going to move it into the exact same order. So it's frameworks, friends, travel, nature, and then art. And then I want to do that for the group too. So yeah, I did alphabetical. No, I want that manual. And I'm going to have the exact same order here. Frameworks, friends, don't need to show none. I can hide that too. Boop. There we go. Travel, nature, art. Yay! All the things. Okay, now I'm going to fill it in for real, and I'll be back in what will feel like no time at all. Okay, I'm back, and my computer fan stopped running. Yeah, it'll probably start again in like 2 seconds. Still don't have a solution for that. I don't know. Fancy mic. Anyways, so I'm going to go over just a few little like Notion things, and then I'm going to talk through some of these. I just spent way too long in this. This was like... Even going from this to like putting it in here, like changing format from this like hand-drawn version to making it more official. I just got so many more ideas. I highly recommend doing this. Like find like what are your 5 top joys in life and map how they intersect with each other and how they can like play off of each other and amplify each other, because the connections is like, oh my gosh, you can bring 2 of these together. I even have a couple where like, oh, and this brings this 3rd thing together. That is beautiful. So a couple things you can see, like I actually mentioned a lot of people here. So yes, I have a database of my relationships. Back in my like about a year ago when I was just learning Notion and I was like, everything must be in Notion. I was actually like tracking phone calls and things, like basically just like tracking how much I need to reach out to somebody. I have stopped doing that since, but it is cool. I use created a gift tracker too in Notion just to remember like who I've given what to, especially books that I buy people. It's like, have I bought Carolyn 4,000 Weeks yet? Like, did I buy her that last year? Do I need to buy her that this year? So just keeping track of that. So my people are in a database. So this is really great to be able to mention them. And of course it creates backlinks. So, you'll see that sometimes I even mention like a project or something like that, because having everything in Notion, then you can mention it, which is really cool. And of course, link to it. There goes my computer fan. And then I also use the icons here to kind of start marking things that like I want to do. So gray check mark. There's not like an open checkbox emoji. It's quite the oversight. So the gray checkbox is like, this is something that I really, really want to do. A lot of these are to-dos, but these are something that like I actually like, yes, like I want to do this in the near future. And then the green check mark is something that like I'm already doing pretty well. Like, oh, wait, I'm already integrating those things, but I just want to be more intentional about it. And then I also added the little sun icon here because then I would mention another thing. So this one was between art and travel, but then I mentioned art again. Where's another better example? There we go. This is a better one. This one is between friends and art, but it also mentions travel as well. I probably didn't need to mention. Maybe I moved it from somewhere else. Anyways, yeah. So a couple things. So now like that's basically the Notion bit of it. If that's all you're interested in, then peace. But I'm just going to go over some of the things that I found. I starred a few things just to kind of give you an example on not really the mechanics of a nested object matrix, but some like just the insights that I got out of this. So some of them is things that I want to do. There's this school that's like an hour and 40 minutes away from us. I've talked with friends about going. There's like this like week-long retreat. So bringing one-on-ones and art and also travel together to actually go to this craft school and like spend a week at one of these craft schools. Like plan it, Sophia. Do it for 2024. You've talked about it. Actually go and do the thing. And then I got a lot between travel and art, which was actually surprising. Like bringing back, I used to go on these like long photo walks where I wasn't taking pictures of like for my highlight reel, which is what I've been doing as I travel. It's like taking pictures of all the cool stuff I'm doing. Like I used to go and I would take photographs of, gosh, my computer fan. There's like y'all, if you know the solution to this, anybody else? I don't know how to prevent it. So sorry about the audio. Anyway, I go back to taking photos of patterns and textures and patinas, because what I used to do is I used to go and take these pictures and then I would print them out and then I would collage with them. That was my form of art. You can see where art and art intersect. Photo collage. Like that was, I would even take pictures of my collages and print those out and then collage them even more. So bringing that back, like, come on, Sophia. Make that a point while you're traveling, as something to do is like to go explore and to find patterns. Going to at least one museum. Usually I'm like, oh, I don't want to be inside. I don't want to be in a museum because I usually with travel, I want to be outside. I want to be going and making a point to looking up the flora and going to parks and things like that and focusing on the natural wonders. But go to at least one museum, like find the museum that you think you're going to get the most inspiration out of and go there, even if it's just for an hour. Another one, like, don't be shy to wander into art galleries. Sometimes I feel intimidated. I don't know why to go into it, especially like an empty art gallery where I know I'm not going to buy anything because everything's going to be like $1 million. But I should go in. I should start going in and just like, I can pretend like I'm going to buy something or not even, those art curators in there are probably lonely anyway. So don't be like, just having that in my mind to next time I see an art gallery and it looks interesting and I'm wandering around a city, like go into that art gallery, get some inspiration. I think I needed to just give myself permission to do that and even recognize like I am feeling intimidated. Why? I love travel. I love art. Bring it together and wander in the art gallery and get a little inspo. Other things like nature and friends and friendships. We were working with this group, Georgia Mountain Trails Partnership. We built their website. We were working with them. I really want to reconnect with them and make more friends in that group. So that was kind of like, I need to get around to doing that. So this did create like a lot of to-dos, if you will. But that's a good thing. Like this is helping me be kind of more intentional about how I bring these things together. I'll show you another cool thing. I can actually map this. So I have my tasks in here. Can I actually map this to tasks? I said that wasn't going to show any more Notion stuff. So bonus, I guess. I mean, I'm sure like if y'all know databases, but this is the beauty of like, once you have all your things and they're pretty well organized in Notion, then connecting the things, it kind of becomes a little bit, starts speaking easy. And you see like, oh, this is a task. Let's say, okay, take the foraging course. So what I can do here is I can add a property of a relation, and I'm going to kind of like, okay, tasks, add relation, and, I'm just going to put like add the actual task, sign up for that foraging course. Okay. And I'm going to do new, right? And so this just created a new task in my system that now I can go organize and put it in a project. I can actually make it happen. Okay. And then of course tasks, if I open up that, I can put it in a plan, and that would be probably one of my personal plans. Do I have something that would actually go in there? I might need that. Anyway, if I had a good project this would go under, I would put it under there. I probably do. I'm just not thinking of it. Cool. That is my exit cue. All right. I hope this was helpful. Let me know. How does it go? What do you use an nested object matrix for? Did this even help you think about how you might actually use Notion in other ways? Did you like this video? Let me know. Let me know. Do you want more of like the inside of how I use Notion for OUX and for project management and just life? All right. Cheers, y'all. Happy OUXing.